We start with the point theory of the chromatography. In chromatography, two theories are used. First is the plate theory and second is the rate theory, or it is also called as kinetic theory. These are two theories we are going to study in the chromatography. Now we will start with the first theory, plate theory. Now in chromatographic separation, the separation takes place in stationary phase and mobile phase. There are two phases are used in chromatography. The separation takes place in stationary phase and mobile phase. Now, how the separation is taking place? There is the equilibrium distribution between the stationary phase and the mobile phase. When we run the mobile phase over the stationary phase, then what happens? As mobile phase passes over the stationary phase, the components from the mobile phase, they get transferred to the stationary phase. That process is called as first is the adsorption. Now what is the adsorption? When the components from the mobile phase are transferred to the stationary phase, that process is called as adsorption. Now see, if this is the stationary phase and this is the mobile phase, okay? When we run this mobile phase over the stationary phase, then components of the mobile phase comes in contact with the stationary phase. Then what happens? These transfer the components from mobile phase to the stationary phase. Now see the column. Here is the mobile phase with the solvent. We are pouring this mobile phase and the solvent over this stationary phase. Now as this mobile phase is passed over the stationary phase, there is the distribution of the component from mobile phase to the stationary phase. That process is the adsorption. Now what happens? When the fresh mobile phase comes in contact with the stationary phase, then what happens? The adsorbed molecule on the stationary phase get transferred again to the mobile phase. That process is what? Desorption. Means see this, from this mobile phase the components are transferred to the stationary phase, and from stationary phase again when fresh mobile phase comes in contact with the stationary phase, the component from the stationary phase get again transferred to the mobile phase. That process is what? Desorption. Means the chromatography is the adsorption desorption process. There is always equilibrium between the adsorption desorption process. Okay, there is the equilibrium between the adsorption desorption process in the chromatography. Okay, now if this is the column in the chromatography, now what happens? In this column of the chromatography consists of the number of the plates. Okay, this column consists of the number of the plates. As the name of the theory is the plate theory, it is related to the plate. These plates are present on the in the column of the chromatography. Okay. Now see what happened. In this column there is the adsorption desorption process. Okay. At each step there is the adsorption desorption process. There exists the equilibrium. Due to this equilibrium there is the flow of the mobile phase through the stationary phase. When this mobile phase complete this adsorption desorption equilibrium, then it will elute from the stationary phase. Okay. Now what happened? There is the some length of the column, at which length there exists the equilibrium between the adsorption desorption and static equilibrium. That length of the column is called as the HTP, means height equivalent to the theoretical plate. This is what? This length is the theoretical plate. What is the theoretical plate? At the theoretical plate, okay, at the theoretical plate what happened? There exists the equilibrium between the adsorption desorption and static equilibrium. That length of the column in which the equilibrium between adsorption desorption and the static equilibrium is called as the theoretical plate, and length of this theoretical plate is called as the height equivalent to theoretical plate. What is HTP? HTP is equal to height equivalent. HTP is equal to height equivalent to theoretical plate. Now this HTP is related to the number of the plate. In this length of the theoretical plate there exists number of the plate. Now this HTP is related to the equation N is equal to L upon HTP. What is N? N is equal to number of the plates, L is the length of the column, and HTP is the height equivalent to the theoretical plate, means this area. Okay, this area is the height equivalent to the theoretical plate. Okay, now we will see the variance of the peak. N is equal to L upon HTP. This is our first equation. Now this HTP is related to the variance of the peak. Therefore it is given by HTP is equal to sigma L square upon L. What is this sigma L? It is the variance of the peak. This is our second equation. Sigma L is equal to variance of the peak. Now we will relate this equation to the retention time. HTP is equal to sigma T square L upon TR square. Okay. Now what is TR? TR is the retention time. Our main equation is N is equal to L upon HTP. Okay. Then this HTP is related to the variance of the peak. It is given by equation HTP is equal to sigma L square upon L. What is L? L is the length of the column. Then HTP is also related to the retention time. It is given by this third equation. HTP is equal to sigma T square L upon TR square. What is TR? TR is the retention time. What is retention time? The time required to elute the components from the mixture is the retention time. Okay. Now this variance of the peak, it is unit of the variance of the peak, it is related to the length of the column. Therefore unit will be centimeter square. Unit of the sigma square L will be centimeter square, and this retention time, the unit of the retention time will be second square. As it is related to the time, the unit of this equation will be second square, and unit of the sigma L square means variance of the peak will be centimeter square. Now this HTP can be determined from the chromatogram. Okay, this HTP value can be determined from the chromatogram. We will plot first the chromatogram. This is what detector response. Versus time. Now we get a chromatogram like this. This is the chromatogram. Chromatogram is detector response versus time. Now we will draw two tangents. To draw the base line. This is what width of the peak. It is given by W. Okay. This is what this tangent is drawn on this curved line. To determine the W, which is the width of the peak. This is what height of the peak. H at the half height. Suppose this is the half height, which is given by H half. We will draw the line so that we can obtain the W half. Okay, which is the half width of the peak. W is the width of the peak. H is the height of the peak. H half is the half height of the peak. This half height of the peak, from this half height we can draw the line so that we can get the W half. At the half height we obtain the W half. Okay. Now there is the equation related to the HTP. Now what is this equation? HTP is related to the W, L and the TR means retention time by equation W square L upon 16 TR square. This HTP is related to the W means width of the peak, length of the column and retention time by this equation. Okay, this is our fourth equation. Now our equation of the number of the plate is N is equal to L upon HTP. Now we will put this value of HTP in this equation. N is equal to L upon W square L upon 16 TR square. By rearranging this equation, we get N is equal to 16 TR square L upon W square L. This L and L will get cancelled. Therefore, we get N is equal to 16 TR square upon W square. Okay, we get this equation for this N. Number of the plates can be calculated from this equation if you have the symmetrical peak. If we got the symmetrical peak from the detector response, then we can calculate the number of the plates by using this equation, which is given by N is equal to 16 into TR square upon W. What is TR? TR is the retention time and W is the width of the peak. Now this is for the symmetrical peak. Now what is for unsymmetrical peak? Now for the unsymmetrical peak, this equation will not follow. Okay. If the peak is like this, okay, then how can we calculate the W? It is not possible to calculate to measure the W value. Then also in case of the broad peaks, if we obtain the very broad peak, in that case also it is impossible to measure the W value. In that case we have to consider the W half value. Now the equation is changed for the unsymmetrical peaks and the broad peaks. This equation will be changed. This equation is for the symmetrical peak. Now for the unsymmetrical peak, and broad peak, the equation will be N is equal to 5.54 TR square. In place of the W, we will take W half because it is impossible to measure the W value in that unsymmetrical and broad peak case. Okay, so that we will take W half value. Okay, thus we can calculate the number of the plate for unsymmetrical and the broad peak from this equation, and for the symmetrical peak, number of the plates can be calculated from this equation. Okay, now this is what for symmetrical peak there is the uncorrected value. Okay, this TR is the uncorrected value, so we have to take the corrected TR value. Now this for corrected TR value, the equation will be changed and it can be written as N is equal to, for the corrected retention time, the equation will be written as, for unsymmetrical peak, TR in place of TR dash upon W half, and this is what? N effective. N effective value will be given by 5.54 TR dash upon W half. TR is the corrected retention time. Then N effective in case of HTP is given by L upon HTP is equal to N effective. We will put this value of N effective here. HTP is given by, for the corrected retention time, HTP is given by L upon N effective. Okay. Now this is what? From this is we can calculate the number of plates for symmetrical peak as well as for the unsymmetrical and broad peaks from the plate theory. Now this W, W half and TR, they can be determined by the length of the column. Therefore unit of this is, now I will first write this. W, W half, TR, all this quantity contains the time. Therefore unit of this is a second or minute. Okay. Then what? Detector response is given by in units volts or ampere. Okay. Therefore our unit will be the detector response multiplied by this second or the time. Our unit of the peak will be volt per second or ampere per second. Okay. Now the HTP and relation of the HTP and the N. How they are related? HTP means height equivalent to the theoretical plate and N is number of the theoretical plate. It is also related to the length of the column. Now when there is a low HTP value, it gives greater number of the N. When HTP value is low, we get greater quantity of number of plates and efficiency of the column will increase or separation will increase. Low HTP value means high value of N. Then what? Separation or efficiency will increase. Okay. When HTP value is low, low HTP value gives higher number of N, means number of plates are greater for low HTP value. Therefore separation will be increased as HTP and N are related to each other. Then this HTP is also related to the stationary phase. How it is related to the stationary phase? If the stationary phase we are using in the column, it is of the small particle size, it gives the lower value of HTP, means greater value of N. The stationary phase, when we use the smaller particle size, in stationary phase, then what happen? HTP will be lower and N will be greater. Okay, that's why the particle size of the column should have the very small in stationary phase. The stationary phase should be very small particle size. Why small particle size gives greater value of N? Because the small particle size, as the particle size decreases, the surface area increases. As the surface area increases, what happens? The bonded phase components on the stationary phase will increase. That's why equilibrium distribution between the stationary phase and mobile phase will increase, as the particle size of the stationary phase will decrease, because lower particle size or small particle size gives the greater surface area which is free for the adsorption. On this greater surface area, more number of compounds can be adsorbed. Okay, that's why we get a greater value of N for the smaller particle size. As the particle size is related to the HTP and N. When HTP value is lower, we get a greater value of N, means number of theoretical plates will decrease. Okay, this particle size is related to the number of the plates. When particle size is smaller, we get greater number of plates. This is all about the plate theory. As this plate theory gives the explanation about the Gaussian shape of the peak. As we have seen the peak, this plate theory gives the explanation about the Gaussian shape of the peak and rate of movement of the molecules in the stationary phase. This rate of movement also explained by the plate theory, and Gaussian shape is also explained by the plate theory. But this plate theory fails to explain the broadening of the peak. How the peaks are broadened, why the peaks are broadened, how to minimize the peak broadening. This is not explained by the plate theory. That's why there is the rate theory which explains the broadening of the peak. Now in the plate theory, from the height of the peak and the width of the peak, we can calculate the area of the peak. Okay, area of the peak can be calculated by height and width of the peak. This W is taken for the symmetrical peak and W half is taken for the unsymmetrical and broad peaks. Okay, now this W half, retention time, they can be given in the units of the second or minute. The length of the column, this height of the peak, it is length or height, it is given in centimeter square or mm square. Okay, then detector response, it is given in the ampere or volt. It may be in the voltage or it may be in the form of the current. Therefore, unit will be ampere or the volt. Therefore, area of the peak is given by the unit millivolt second or microampere second. The area of the peak is given by millivolt second or microampere second. Area of the peak can be calculated from the height of the peak and width of the peak. This is all about the plate theory. What we have discussed in the plate theory? In the plate theory, we have discussed first the equation N is equal to L upon HTP, means number of the plate is related to the height equivalent to the theoretical plate. These are the theoretical plates. Theoretical plate means what? There is the equilibrium between the adsorption, desorption and static equilibrium. That area, that length of the column is called as a height equivalent to the theoretical plate. Then we have seen the variance of the peak sigma L. Then we have related that number of the plate equation to the retention time. Then we have studied from this graph we have derived the equation of number of the theoretical plate, which is given by 16 into TR square upon W square. That equation is for the symmetrical peak. Then we have derived the equation for unsymmetrical peak and the broad peak, in which W is replaced by W half. Okay. Then we have taken the corrected retention time. That corrected retention time also equation is given. Then this height equivalent to the theoretical plate and number of the theoretical plate and L length of the column, they are related to each other. When there are the small value of the HTP, it gives the high value of the N. Then it is also related to the particle size of the stationary phase. If the particle size of the stationary phase is smaller, it gives the greater surface area for the adsorption, so that the equilibrium will take place at a greater extent. Therefore, we get a greater separation. This is all about the plate theory. Plate theory explains the Gaussian shape of the peak and also the flow through the column. It fails to explain the broadening of the peak. That's why there is the another theory which is called as a kinetic theory or rate theory. We will discuss this theory in next lecture.